Aloha, beautiful souls, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the weekly quantum plasma stream. This is a weekly podcast or broadcast that we put out every Monday to support your awakening journey and your ascension journey, navigating quantum consciousness, and just really exploring what does it mean to be a multidimensional human here, and looking at the energetic themes, a lot of cosmic events, and just generally sharing also a lot of what I'm observing or experiencing myself as we are all here on this journey together. So if you are new to the channel or new to the podcast, welcome and thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Marissa Indigo and I am the founding director of Divine DNA Blueprint Mystery School. I am an ascension guide or a bridge to New Earth, and I love to share amazing information and also share my journey with you to assist you, because this is definitely one of the weirdest and most wonderful experiences in the ascension process. So welcome and let's jump in. So we are going to be talking about the energies from today, December 30th through Monday, January 6th, 2024. So wow, we are wrapping up 2024. Can you believe it? Definitely been feeling the energies streaming through of 2025. As we know, the linear calendar is just kind of a construct to assist us to keep track and to monitor and to look at things. So it's interesting to observe the fluidity with it, right? It's not super entrenched like it used to be. And yet we still use it, right, as a marker in order to delineate. But many of us have been feeling the energies of 2025 coming in, and you're going to be noticing even more as we go about a month from now, January 29th of 2025, we're going to have the Chinese Lunar New Year. So that's a different calendar, right? The lunar calendar, a very ancient form of timekeeping, and the energetic shift into the wood snake. And so right now we are still in the dragon energies, and we'll talk about that as we go. So very important to share, this Monday, December 30th, we have a new moon in Capricorn, and this is actually the second new moon of this month. So when we have a second full moon, it's called a blue moon, and when we have a second new moon, it's called a black moon, which is very interesting. So how amazing that we are wrapping up so many different cycles, right? Also, we've talked extensively about wrapping up the Pluto and Capricorn energy, which was the last 16 years. Pluto is now officially in the sign of Aquarius, which is a massive paradigm shift for all of us individually and collectively. And we've been in this process of really releasing structures, old structures within, assessing our belief systems and how we functioned, how we perceived, how we lived in the old paradigm. So how amazing to have this new moon energy, and it's at 9 degrees of the sign of Capricorn. Also, 2025 is a 9-year. So we're already starting to get, when I talk about starting to feel into 2025 and how powerful of a year it's going to be for us, and how different that 9 energy is very significant when it comes to leadership, humanitarianism, and really stepping in more fully on our spiritual path. It's kind of a all for one and one for all energetic, and it's really going to be inviting us into practicing and remembering multidimensional awareness. And so it's the opportunity to be looking at everything from multiple perspectives, or as we like to say, the prism vision. So it's like you're looking at everything through a prism, or you could imagine like a disco ball, right? It has a lot of mirrors on it. There's a lot of facets, a lot of ways of looking at everything. Another way to think about this kind of vision is the insects. So like bees and flies, you know, if you've ever looked at their eyeballs up close, instead of just one eyeball, they have a lot. They have a very interesting way of perceiving their reality. And so this new moon in Capricorn is really kicking off what we're going to start to see, the awakening and the ascension for the masses. And so many are going to be in the initial waves of the awakening, right? As the old paradigm continues to dissolve, it's just not holding anymore, and it's not supporting any of the old behaviors and old mentalities anymore. And then those of us who have been on the journey a little bit longer are going to go deeper into the ascension process, which is activating, connecting with, and embodying the light of our soul and becoming a divine human here. So this new moon energy in Capricorn is showing us, okay, we exited an old paradigm. Where within us can we continue to do that conscious exiting process? And so it's amazing that here we have this new moon in Capricorn, all with the New Year's Eve energy, right? So happy New Year, everyone. And it's all about structures. It's all about self-governance. It's all about being the authority in your life of your your life. And so we're really getting this baton passed to us from the universe saying, whether or not you feel like you're ready or you have all the details in place, you are ready, and we're getting started now. So it's definitely that experience I call kind of getting pushed out of the nest or thrown into the deep end of the pool. And our human consciousness could be freaked out by that, but it's really trusting and opening up to a lot more ways of perceiving. And this is when we say the multidimensional consciousness, looking at this as a soul, looking at this as an energy being, as a light being, as a galactic being, as a master or ascended master archetype, as an angel and an archangel. There are so many different layers of our consciousness to start to look at everything, right? And to bring all of those into wholeness. It's quite an adaptation to leave the human linear construct and really just get thrust into navigating quantum consciousness. And it's a lot, and it is tricky, and it can be challenging, and yet here we are, right? And so this new moon is kicking us off here into the new year energetics with a whole new foundation, a whole new access to your blueprint. And all of my work was given to me the name Divine DNA Blueprints, right? And so we're activating more aspects of ourselves, more memories and gifts and knowledge and different missions and callings, answering the call. And so now it's time to allow that to start to come through and to build a new foundation, living as a higher self. So this requires, when we talk about self-governance, part of building those new frameworks inside of ourselves. What does that look like? Well, it looks like trusting ourselves, believing in ourselves, having faith, having the strength and the courage, also trusting the intuitive wisdom and the guidance that is coming forth from our higher self. And oftentimes we are the only ones in our vicinity doing that journey. So you're going to have everyone else around you on a different path, perhaps still locked into a linear consciousness, not understanding what you're doing and not supporting what you're doing. So it definitely takes massive balls and massive ovaries to start to trust and listen to this higher understanding over everything. And so this is where we're taking our power back from everything. And as we continue to do that, it builds the framework, it builds the structures inside, where we get stronger inside, we get more courageous, we trust ourselves. So everything is about building that light quotient. It's being able to start to build an inventory or an internal point of reference. And that's kind of like when we look back at even when we were going through the darkest of the linear journey, seeing how our universe always had our back. Everything always worked out, right? Even if it was challenging and difficult. And so we must hold that knowledge, that truth close to our hearts as we continue to go forward into the unknown and understand that we're already pre-encoded with all of the information, actually. All of this higher realm data is inside of us. It's inside of our bodies. We access it through an open heart. So this is really going into a whole other layer and no longer responding or perceiving our reality as our human or our past life linear self. So we call that the past life. And it's becoming all the aspects unified as one consciousness, like we referenced here. So this is a new foundation that you build yourself. So we are completely in charge. We are the boss. We have to build the foundation ourselves. This is activating our structural integrity and our architecture. Last week I shared the Divine Architect activation to assist you, to teach you how to energetically align and grid your reality and also merge all of the aspects of yourself so that you are unified to then function from your highest in every now moment. So you can reference back to that guided meditation process. You can use it also as a template of inspiration to create your own from that works for you, the words that really work for you and the phrases. You'll feel that light up of what really kicks you on into the next level within yourself. There's also, with this new world, perceiving as energy, living as energy, starting to really see ourselves and everything as energy and as consciousness. So there's a lot of depersonalization with this. I've been going through a very rigorous process where I've been sitting and having these cosmic question and answer sessions with my universe higher self to ask, how can I maintain universal consciousness? How do I hold that high frequency of awareness? And the answer was, you've got to dissolve your human. You got to let go of your human ego and your human identity. For all of the attachments, all of the suffering, all of the stories are attached to that identity. And it's been been amazing. It's rigorous. There's definitely a lot of tears, right, as we are letting go, and it opens up even deeper trust and faith in our journey as we are letting go. At the same time, when we release these old expired belief systems and attachments, there's a great deal of liberation. It's a lot of emotions, definitely at once, to feel and to honor and then to clear. And a beautiful cosmic event that happened over the weekend was we have a new identity, new story upgrades abilities now. And we've talked about the asteroid Chiron. And so I'm going to share a little bit of story time about Chiron and the significance of upgrading our identity and dissolving the human association of ourselves. Chiron is an asteroid. He is a centaur, and him and his wife Chariklo are very cosmic divine healers in our galaxy. They are centaur beings, and they live in what is called the Dark Rift, which is the very edge of our galaxy, between our galaxy and then the deeper extensions of deep space and the darkness of space. So they're on the perimeter, almost like Guardians of the Galaxy kind of energy, you know, here, and they live in that space. And they are symbolically represented in mythology as these cosmic healers, these divine healers that are very powerful and are capable of serving and healing everyone else. And yet they have this mortal wound, right? This wounded healer component of what they cannot heal for themselves from that state of consciousness of woundedness. And so the fact that Chiron has been in Aries for a long time, Aries is all about our ego and our individual identity. So we have had the wounded healer in the completely rebuilding a new identity energy for a very long time. And over the weekend, that energy just shifted positions and went from a retrograde to a direct. And so what that's showing us is how even more the last few months and this last year, we've been called over and over again to review our wounding, right? And to look at our trauma and to see, okay, is it looping, constantly repeating in my experience, meaning that I'm not actually clearing it, or what have I transcended? So this whole new identity coming forth is a vital part of the new energy of the new year and going forward. And so here we have this ability to clear more aspects, clear more layers of our story, right? So we're no longer identifying or being ruled by our trauma or our subconscious wounding or our separation that caused us to feel less than, right? Or incapable, or any of those disempowered states, because Capricorn energy is the leader, is the executive, is the star commander. It's a very powerful leadership energy of taking charge of your life and what that means to be the grand designer and the master builder of your reality. You can't be a master builder if you're stuck in woundedness, right? And like stories and being in a victim state. So these are very powerful opportunities here for us to completely let go and dissolve. And there's a lot of supportive material here for that process of consciously releasing that on the channel, which we'll share more tools as we go. And there's more in the description box as well to assist you, different rituals and guided meditation processes for free that are gifted. So along with perceiving everything as energy, this new mastery, and a great example of how to go forward from this unified higher state of awareness would be Don Miguel Ruiz's 4 agreements. So this is really holding yourself to a new standard, right? A gold standard of a higher consciousness, a higher awareness of integrity and respect and honor and self-love. And when we honor and love and respect ourselves enough to hold that new frequency of identity, we can also extend that compassion and awareness and respect to others. So Don Miguel Ruiz, the 4 agreements, this is a wonderful template for living New Earth now. Be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personally. Don't make assumptions, and always do your best. Like that right there is a fabulous little succinct key code for living New Earth now. And you can use that as you're going through and clearing a lot of the ego stuff and dissolving the old away. Very powerful week. We are setting ourselves up for the entire new year and the new reality going forward. And this week, okay, yeah, we have the new year or new paradigm resolution. So how powerful to have this kind of cosmic support with us, right? And this is why I love evolutionary astrology so much, because time and time again, it shows up to support us fully through this process to show us, you know, when we break down the word universe, universe, it means one song. So we are all a part of that. this. We all have a cosmic note and a divine placement in this beautiful cosmic song of creation that we are a part of, and it is all ascending, it is all lifting. So we want to go with these cosmic tides and not against ourselves or against the process. I want to share some examples, and we'll work with some of the elements this week as well to support you further. I was guided to keep this as simple as possible, to just focus alone on who you are in the new earth paradigm and allowing the old to dissolve. That alone is more than enough, right? This is a really beautiful and very deep and precious time. It's a very sacred experience to rebirth yourself as a soul right now. So we're still in the solstice energies. We're still in these very divine frequencies. And it's important to remember that even though this is very challenging and psychologically it's challenging, we're going to be going through more and more ego deaths as we are dissolving the old identity. And yet the more that we say yes to divinity in this way, and the more that we say yes to our soul and yes to trying something completely differently and new from this new and precious place, we have very high frequencies supporting us. The divine realms, the frequency from the higher realms are absolutely incredible. It's only hard for our ego, and we are not our ego. It is an aspect of us that helped us to get to this point, but it is not our true higher self awareness. So this week, to assist you with your processes, declaration of sovereignty. You want to come up with your declaration of sovereignty as a divine sovereign being. Maybe write that down. Contract revocations can be very powerful as you are declaring and you are absolving yourself of the past and all of the different karmic contracts that you have already fulfilled. You want to burn them. You're done. Burn ritual. Welcome in the new. Ask to be shown by your universe. So sit in quiet contemplation, close your eyes, enter into your heart space, and ask your universe or higher self to show you what steps to take, what to release, to switch out, and to upgrade and replace with something even better. So where do we make more room? So as we are willing to let go, more will come in. The universe does not support a void. As you make space, more of the higher will come in. And so that's why it's important to do the dissolving and releasing and surrendering of what is no longer you and what doesn't serve you. The concepts of Stockholm Syndrome, where metaphorically and literally we are entrenched in the system because it's more comfortable, even though it's not of integrity and it's not highest aligned and it's actually abusive. So we have to really go deeply and be really honest with ourselves. Now you want to bring in the elements all this week. We're going to actually talk about all 5 elements and how you can work with them. You want to work with the earth element to stabilize yourself inside, because as being a master here, as part of the divine architect, as part of being a master builder, what we are receiving here with this new moon in Capricorn is, here you go. These are the codes of how you function in the new earth higher realm. You have to stabilize yourself. Nothing outside of you is going to stabilize you anymore. Nothing outside of you is going to bring you happiness. You have to do it all fully as a sovereign being inside of yourself, as a universe yourself. And so the earth element is here, Gaia is here to assist us to stabilize inside. And this is also root chakra work of having safety and security and trust in the journey. You want to work with the fire. So we mentioned the burn ritual. We have a link to a wonderful burn ritual in the description box. That's a free gift to support you. Work with the fire to clear yourself, to empower, to clear the negativity and the illusion and delusion from yourself and your field and your DNA. It also inspires creativity and will assist you with faith in your mission and bringing forth that boldness, right? The courage codes of the sacred flame. Work with the water element to be more flowing and to flow and to allow that fluidity and that flow in your reality. So this is energy levels. You're flowing with your body's needs and your energetic capabilities, and also your bank account, allowing everything to flow, to be fluid and to not get fixated, to also have, practice, feel, share compassion and love, right? It's the divine mother energy. Work with the air element to move the energy. So you want to move your mind and the thought and their body and your emotions. And you also want to use your throat chakra to express and to communicate and to write and to journal and really express out, whether it's personal or with another, to move the energy. You want to talk about your experience. What I love is I have a voice recording component on my phone, and I do what I call a voice Ascension diary, and I will speak through my process. So I will sit there with my universe and I will ask questions and I will share, like, I'm observing this, I'm feeling this. and I will observe the words that are coming out, because I can use those words to then see what programming I'm working through to expedite the process. So it's a very powerful, you want to use speech, use your body as the instrument that it is, and those crystals in the throat chakra to share and to speak and to move it out and through you. So this can be done personally and no one even has to know or hear about it, or when you're with your soul tribe, right, or in a sacred soul session. You want to work with the ether, the AKASH, to continue your clearing process, to also open up to your sacred remembering, your divine mastery, your divine aspects of self, your galactic aspects of self. This is part of the ancestral clearing, going through, really exploring the DNA, traveling at the speed of light, working with your own Akashic library. A lot of people want to know, how do you enter into the Akash? Well, you do it with humility and an openness and a willingness to learn through your heart space, and everything that is important for you to know right now, you will see, you will know. Then you can continue to work. So these are some support systems to assist you this week to go through and continue to build and really create the framework of your highest reality. What does it look like, and who are you, and what are you being shown? And to have patience also, that it's one step at a time. So we have the Chinese Lunar New Year on January 29th of 2025, and so we have one more month right now to work with the dragon energy. So the dragon energy is all about integrity and empowerment, self-mastery. It's the number 8 year, the number of power and abundance and infinity, of using the force. If we look like through what the Jedis, how they work with the energy of creation as a force through them. It's also your self-mastery to clear your karma and your resolve now to live with conscious awareness and not make new karma by going backwards, by regressing, by slipping back into unconsciousness and acting from fear or the ego. As this dragon year wraps up, we are preparing for many, many skins that we're going to be shedding in the 2025 energy. And so you want to just continue to look at the lifestyle. There's going to be a lot of lifestyle changes with this ascension process, with the awakening process. Wherever you are in your journey, it's going to be a lot less of a physical reality. You're going to need more rest. You may already be experiencing or starting to feel that you need to start exploring job changes. Interests are going to fall away, right? New passion projects and creativity are going to come forth. And particularly the more that you engage the dissolving of the individual ego, you're going to see how much was human programming of what was supposed to, right? What are the obligations? And those are all part of the human mentality that created the 3D prison slave matrix reality. So you're not going to resonate with that anymore. And you want to trust. You don't have to force yourself. You don't have to compromise your integrity. The universe will guide and support you. So it's the deepest trust we've ever experienced to engage in this kind of a journey, especially if you're doing it all alone, where there's no one around you in your physical world that understands. And that's the whole point of this channel, is to support you, that we thankfully have the internet to connect and to support each other, because it is a very rigorous process and it can be weird and wonky and you're going through so many layers at once, right? So let the old self dissolve completely, letting go of your identity, merging with your I am soul consciousness. And I'm going to be sharing when we get into the total energy report for 2025. So a year ago in 2024, I was guided to share some information on how to exist as energy and start to perceive as energy. And so we have, it's called the wave form teachings, where you are starting to see yourself as energy. You're starting to see yourself in your meditation process as a particle and a wave, as a droplet in the ocean and the whole ocean. So there's a lot of starting to reframe how you see yourself as energy and part of the unity consciousness and part of the field. So you want to start playing with these perspectives as you're expanding your awareness of who you are as a unique spark of God's source, divine intelligence. So this is a huge week. Thank you so much for tuning in. To share also just more support going forward, we do have the Awakening Our Divine Blueprints Together membership and community portal is open now. And I'm going to be doing 2 live webinars every month where we get together and we dive deeply into the energies, and it's like a group session. So it's a wonderful way to get to work together if you're wanting to go deeper, to apply all of this information to your own journey. And it's really wonderful to come together in a group format like that and start to build community. So this membership includes access to 30+ courses that are all about the awakening and the ascension journey, and also a portal where we can connect privately and share and really build community. And then also the 2 live webinars every month. As my energy completely shifts and I'm unable to do a lot of physical tasks, I have been shown how to alter my own lifestyle, and this way to be available to support more at once. And everybody wins because I'm able to support more souls, and it's actually a lot more of an economic benefit when we come together in a group format this way in a membership, because it's a lot less expensive than an individual session, right? So yeah, that's just part of my own flow, is like, how can we serve more people at once and also make it more affordable for everyone? So just part of the process, you know, just sharing like how we learn flexibility and all of these different ways to continue forward, to also adapt to our needs and our physical body's needs and the light body shifts and all of that. And in 2025, it's going to be pretty amazing, because we're going to start to see dynamic shifts in the workforce, where a lot of people that are just beginning their awakening journey, they're going to be like, I can't get out of bed, you know? And so it's going to shift how we work, probably a lot more remote work, right? So I'm thinking about Barbara Marciniak. If you're familiar with the wonderful Pleiadian channel, Barbara Marciniak, she's incredible. And I remember listening to her materials back in the day, and she was saying, oh yeah, the ascension process, you know, humanity's probably just going to sleep right through it. And I thought that was so funny, and I didn't really understand what she said, you know, but now I realize, oh, it's because the upgrades are so intense that we actually have to shut off. We actually have to go to sleep so that we don't stay in the way, because the linear mind actually blocks all of these quantum rewrites, and it's just amazing. So I welcome you to the new era. It's a very exciting time. There's a lot of changes, a lot more faith and trust than we've ever experienced. So yeah, we're going to be pushed, you know, to the edge in order to really surrender our egos even more and open our hearts and connect even more. But it's also, I think, the most amazing time to be alive and to be here. I feel like we're all very blessed to be here. So thank you so much for tuning in. I'm starting to lose my voice, so I guess that's my universe's way of telling me it's time to close out the podcast. So wishing you all an amazing rest of your day and week, and happy new year to you all. And there's plenty in the description box, all the different things I mentioned, lots of gifts to support you. You know, in the new earth frequency, we share, right? It's all about sharing and abundance. So yes, there are opportunities for exchanges like sessions. I am offering one-to-one sessions, and also the membership portal, but there's a lot of gifts. This way we can meet you wherever you are on your journey and whatever is aligned for you. So thank you so much for tuning in. Wishing you an amazing experience as we cross the threshold into the new year. Can't wait to talk about the energies of January. There's going to be a lot for us. So thank you. Namaste.